Look at that. That is a masterpiece, Mitoe.
You like my overlays?
Yeah, Mitoe made that one. Look at that. You can't see the berries, though. There's only one visible pilgrim gathering those berries. It's unfortunately placed. But the attention to detail, the Jesuit, the pilgrims, and the conquistadors. I like it, I like it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this. It will be game, again, best of one series between Lecastete and bwinner. This, though, is the round of 32. Single elimination, loser is eliminated, and you have to win this one and only game. And as you pointed out, Russia seemed to be pretty good against France.
And in general. I mean, a lot of people have been playing Russia quite a lot recently.
I don't know. I'm okay with this matchup. If I ever play against Russia on ESO, I'm not particularly, I don't feel like it's unwinnable. I'd prefer to play against Russia than, say, India or something like that. I think I just have more confidence versus them. But, yeah, they're certainly strong. Scrolling across the map, 90 wood in the middle there. Dead in the middle, but I suppose we ought to start with... Let's start with the Russian player. Here he is in the bottom of the map in the color blue. Russia. Coin and wood start there. Explorer. Nothing found just yet. We'll see what he comes across. We'll check in with him later on. But here we have Lecastete playing as the French market going down. And bringing a couple of yaks home. Of course, with the native scout, he's going to have a bit of time sort of finding them. bwinner's not going to come across anything. He's just sort of scouting the backside.
Yeah, he did actually scout that 20 coin as he walked by, but didn't notice it immediately, noticed it sort of as he passed it. He turned around for a split second, then decided it wasn't worth it. So valuing potentially other treasures like that 90 wood that he's unfortunately not spotted, or yaks more so than that 20 coin, as that 20 coin's not going to help you out at all with your age up or anything else in the early game. So yeah, that's sort of the thought process there anyway. But yeah, Lecastete going to have a little bit of an advantage for sure on this map in the early game as a result of that native scout, and going to be getting those yaks and treasures spotted very easily. And yeah, he's off to a pretty good start as a result, as again, bwinner, as you said, hasn't found anything just yet, but he is going to spot the 90 wood, could potentially just start that up, and he is going to do that, not going to hesitate. He knows that Lecastete, if he scouted it, would have likely started it already, so he's just going to go for it.
That's
all right, maybe I will dip out of this game and use your computer.
Yeah, you can watch on my screen. We can tell them that. Mitoe will watch on my screen. I assume they can see that. I use the asterisk.
Yeah, I've used the asterisk. They should be able to see that.
I just want to shout out to Squan coming in with the 360 food Horde of Wild Rice subscription. And I think it's appropriate that you get such a nice treasure for that length of subscription. Anniversary? Was it really 12 months? I didn't see. Damn. Thank you very much for the continued support. It seems only appropriate you get a beastly treasure. Maybe it wasn't us after all.
That's not looking promising.
Wasn't Mitoe after all then.
We could save the game.
He's back. Oh, hello. Huh.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to get going pretty soon, or maybe we'll do a quick restart or something, depending on how this goes. But I'm definitely going to leave the game, and I'll just watch on your screen, I think, just to help with any potential problems.
You're well practiced at that.
Yes, it seems like something I have to do every time we cast together. So
yeah, but it's okay. You can see my screen right here. It's much easier than usual. You can tell me where to go, all of these things. But yeah, we don't want to have extra players that we don't need, even if Mitoe and I are on the same connection. Every little helps. I tried something, might get worse as well. Let's see. Yes. Okay, so bwinner connection doesn't look like it will be overly good there, but Mitoe dipping out. Let's get on with this. Let's continue. So far we have seen a lot of chat, but in terms of treasures, if we scroll up far enough, nothing really very interesting at all. Very two small sort of treasures there. How do I get rid of this? I guess I have to scroll down all the way. Okay, sure. 90 wood, though, going to bwinner. And, of course, he's got 7 yaks as well. We saw, pardon me, not bwinner, Lecastete. So he's had a great start there. Thankfully, though, his opponent, bwinner, did get the wood treasure, so that balances it out a bit.
Really nice blocking with the native scout there. Manages to get the snare on the explorer. Is probably not going to be able to do too much with that, but a nice little micro trick anyway. Does get a little bit of extra damage done on the scout as a result, and could have potentially pursued that to try and force some vills into the TC, but maybe just didn't want to risk losing the explorer there.
Yeah, he was a bit too close to that TC for it to make too much of a difference, but still nice to see. 7 cows is a lot of cows. I wonder if he'll pen that.
Yeah, penning is definitely something you can consider doing. They're worth 500 food once fattened, which is a lot. That gather really quickly, and they fatten more quickly than sheep on the livestock pen, which means they finish around the same time. But looks like he is actually going to be eating 2 of those to try and get up on time without any idle time, which is totally respectable thing to do against Russia. You don't want to be aging late versus Russia at all. There's 5 Cossacks can really ruin your day, especially as France, because as France, you don't have those military buildings down right away. You actually have to wait for your crates, and you have to gather those crates before you place it. So it makes it a little bit difficult sometimes to get those military buildings down and those units out before the units get in.
I always feel like CDBs are actually worse against cavalry, at least until they get the Greatcoats upgrade, because of the lack of hand attack resist. So those Cossacks can be quite strong. Trying to bring this hunt under control, starting to shoot that sort of towards the base. And yeah, they're not going to fatten at this market, but he's certainly trying. But yeah, livestock pen is good, but against Russia, you know, kind of maybe if you don't want to be spending your 700 wood on that, it can be a bit sort of... You eating them quickly, eating them, you know, ASAP, might be better just to try and hold off the early pressure that Russia can try and put on you. Yeah,
which he is putting on with this forward blockhouse going down in the middle of the map here. So it's going to be the pretty standard stuff we typically see from Russia because they can't do anything else. The civ. It's going to be that forward blockhouse, had that 5 Cossack shipment most likely coming in as the first card with the 5 Musketeers. Coming to back that up and just try to harass and make things as awkward as possible for the French player before gearing up for some sort of mid-colonial timing before he can hit the Fortress Age. And it's going to be up to Lecastete to try and take as little damage as possible.
Yeah, eating a lot of those cows now. You can see just, another, like, just deleted 2 of them, 2 more. And doesn't look like he's super pleased with the lag.
Yeah, super laggy games are not the most fun, for sure.
Nah, not that much. Oh, it's okay. He's just dismissed it. It's fine.
But, I mean, eating those yaks is a totally fine thing to do when you're playing this matchup and you have so many of them. Like, you know that your opponent doesn't have any, and you know that it's going to be one of the biggest advantages you have in the early game is getting all of those yaks. And so eating them early to try and mitigate any damage you might take later on is definitely a very reasonable thing to do.
Yeah, you know, you can make sure you get a full batch out of units. You're going to have Minutemen available too. You'll have the resources for them. Wondering what he'll do with the wood. Maybe we'll see Barracks and Stable followed by 700 wood. Sort of the Samwise build, so to speak. I don't think he has had enough on coin for that. I wonder what we'll see. Has done a good job of bringing the herds under control, though. Has lots of yaks and berries as well. So food for days.
Yep, he's definitely got enough resources in base to get to the Fortress Age if he wants.
Are
it's
you
just
ready?
About surviving the early pressure.
What do you think then we'll see from the wood?
That's hard to say. Some people like going for the barracks against Russia. Other people like going for the stable.
Not both?
It's really hard to go for both. But
he's got so many yaks. That's kind of why I thought he might.
Well, I also think he's not going for both because he's at 19 population, so he's got the 4 CDB shipment on the way for sure.
Right.
And yeah, there's going to be the stable going down in the back there. A house going to be placed in the front just to restrict some of the pathing from any units that will be coming in there. And yeah, it's going to be Hussars as his unit of choice here. And yeah, going to take a little while for that stable to go up, but with those yaks that he's already eaten, or the water buffalo, I suppose I should call them, he's going to be able to get out that batch pretty comfortably, most likely.
Yeah, units in queue. Hussars on the way there. Musketeers are in queue, and the 5 Cossacks have landed. There's actually a second blockhouse now going down for bwinner. Units now starting to come across the map, but I think the Explorer will have seen them. The villagers are going to get into the TC. Nice control despite the lag there, and is going to sort of bell them all up. Not... Oh, does it go down? No, he's safe. Not going to overreact. These villagers sort of still gathering here. One Hussar, pardon me, Cossack does go down. And perhaps we'll see those Hussars pop. He's got 4 in queue. Just needs to get a little bit more food for the 5th.
Yeah, bringing a couple more water buffalo underneath the town center. Probably going to be eating those as well. And yeah, looks like he does get out only 4 Hussars, but that's still not that bad. He wouldn't have actually had enough population space, it looks like, for the 5th one, even if he had the food for it. But 4 Hussars is definitely enough, especially with Minutemen potential to hold off any units that might want to walk into the base here, and he'll be just fine.
The chat spamming no lag.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for sure. It's not a LAN tournament this time around, so we do unfortunately have to deal with lag from time to time.
Yeah, well, we're dealing with it at the LAN for some reason. We'll have to look into that. That was surprising.
Just AoE3 things.
Well, I think it's the spec UI, which is not obviously a native spec UI, but
Could
it
be.
is.
Yeah, yeah.
That was what I thought it might be, but we'll investigate it. But looks like though, bwinner, did he kill any villagers? No. But has he lost units? Yes, 2 musketeers and a hussar for just going in under the TC. But he got a good amount of idle time, which is what sort of Russia wants to be doing. And he did kind of stop a hussar from spawning by stopping those villagers from gathering.
Yeah,
so
and
that worked out well.
He's actually spotted the 700 coin now from Lecastete with those Cossacks, so he knows that there's an age-up coming from
He's going in with his hussars.
France here. Yeah, he's got 1 Cossack for that, taking no damage in return, so he's going to be feeling pretty good about that trade. And yeah, overall, just really well defended from France so far. Throwing a few villagers in the town center just to deal with those musketeers. And now 700 coin has come in for bwinner. It looks like he's got all his villagers on food. He's sort of using those 2 blockhouses to train pure musketeer here, so that's going to be his follow-up.
Pure musks. And looks like Lecastete, he's just about going to get the age up in, but he's going to take some damage doing it, especially if bwinner is just going to be streaming in musks. That market's gone down now. That villager being forced into the TC. Hasn't lost any, though, so worth pointing that out. But he's going to lose some houses and other buildings. But Lecastete now going up to the next age. This could be troubling. He's going to lose a lot of stuff to do it, to get there.
Yeah, going to be popping those CDB out of the town center as well. 20 CDB do more damage than the town center with 10 CDBs in it, so that's a good trick. And yeah, okay, he's actually just going to resign. I mean, he did get housed at the end there. I think he's sort of blaming the lag a little bit, but I don't know if that's totally fair, because he's housed now, right? He's at 30 out of 30 population. He's going to lose another house, and he doesn't have resources for Minutemen. He's not going to be able to train any Dragoons or send any shipments when he hits up. So yeah, overall, things are looking really, really good for Russia here.
Yeah, it is not surprising, right? This is... it's not ideal. You're going to lose your house, perhaps the other house, possibly even the stable. Well, actually, it's nearly aged up, but as you're saying, you're not going to be able to send those shipments. So, yes, you may well lose these buildings, and, yeah, I wonder if aging was the right decision. Clearly not in the right headspace. It was lagging. Didn't seem to be overly pleased with the situation there, but bwinner does win this and will progress through to the round of 16.
Yep, a little bit of an unfortunate game there for sure, but what can you do? It happens sometimes.